Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I do know that the stream is running quite early tonight. However, we have been struggling with connection issues over the last couple of weeks. So we just want to make sure that everything is up and running and working as it should. So you are listening to myself, Tamer Curved, otherwise known as Ivan. I'll be your commentator this evening for the Talk of the Devil League main league. This is round 10 Germany. You will also notice that the stream is under a different name. It is under our sister league, the Extreme 1 League, round 10 Silverstone. However, Twitch is also having a bit of an issue and I can't change the name. So hopefully we can try and stay in this lobby and we don't have any connection issues. Just to let you know now as well, ladies and gentlemen, I will be having a co-commentator of mine all the way from South Africa joining me, Iceman. He will also be running his stream tonight as well. You can find him on his Twitch account, which I'm sure Iceman will let us know exactly what that Twitch account details would be. But once again, you are listening to myself and the Talk of the Devil main league season 2 round 10 in Germany. Shoo, ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite a news-filled weekend or news-filled week over the course of the last couple of days, which I will basically touch a few base lines on. The biggest thing out there at the moment is the category 5 hurricane or typhoon, whatever you'd like to call it, that is right on the coastline of Japan, which has caused havoc for the Formula 1 schedule, moving the qualifying over to the Sunday and the race also being on the same day. Let's hopefully see, I hope that the weather clears up or at least allows some sort of gap for the drivers to go out. I'm also looking at a few stats here. This is there's been 4 times that the F1 qualifying has been moved to to a Sunday, so that's quite interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, also to let you know that our sister league, the Extreme or the Elite League, is running at the same time as what the main league is. That'll be commentated by Ben, who has kindly taken over the seat for this weekend to help out Kenzie Retro, who has got other engagements as this weekend. So there's a bit of a change up in the lineup for commentary this weekend, but us, and we will try and make it as exciting and as memorable as we can. I've got a request to send out a shout out to Fireworks. That would be Callum, the CEO of the Talk of the Devil's uncle, who will be watching the stream. So we'd just like to send him a shout out and say thank you very much for watching the stream. And I'm sure Callum can feel the support of the family behind him. Anybody else that has been joining us on the stream, welcome. You are listening to myself, Ivan, and this is the Talk of the Devil round 10 in Germany. Not as the stream is labeled. It's just technical issues all over the place. So you will be joining us for the main league. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, it is the full qualifying session. So that is qualifying 1, qualifying 2, qualifying 3, and then it is a full 100% race with the main league. So just let's quickly run down the list of drivers here. So for Williams, we've got Anthony Warrington and Michael Booker. Ferrari, we have Gary Braden and Cat. For Merck, we have the two Harrison brothers, Dino and Stephen. In the Haas, we've got Matt Dixon and Jimmy. The Racing Point, we've got Devon Little and Gregor. For McLaren, we've got Panagliotis, who's moved from Ferrari down to McLaren, and then Callum replacing that seat in Ferrari. Along with Panagliotis, we've got James. The Renault drivers are Jorge and John Taylor. The Toro Rosso drivers are Gareth and Joe Newman. Alpha, Kyle and Luke. The Red Bull drivers will be Kieran Riddle and Cesar Lopez. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the countdown has started and we will be going into the start of the qualifying session. Pit lane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that we are in pit lane in Germany. As we wait for the first couple of drivers to come through to start their first round of Quali 1 in Germany. As you can see, it is a dry qualifying session, so we should see some good times appearing on the board. I've also noticed that we've got 19 drivers on the grid. The only driver that is missing at the moment is Gary Braden in the Ferrari. So Callum's definitely going to have to push out a good result for Ferrari to keep them in the running. It is, and ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard my co-commentator for this evening, Iceman. Good evening, Iceman. How are you doing? Very, very good. Iceman, I've also let our viewers... Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I've just let our viewers know as well that you are streaming via your stream as well. If you wouldn't mind just letting our viewers know what your Twitch account details are so that we can get them watching your stream at the same time. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Iceman Gaming RSA. Is there an underscore between that? Is there an underscore between the Iceman Gaming or Iceman RSA? Just making sure that we get the right details there. Yes, he has. That first corner catching a few people out there. So we've got quite a few drivers out on track. Let's just go down the list. We've got Callum. We've got Callum out. So we've got Dean. That's interesting. In the McLaren, we've got James. We've got Kieran out in the Red Bull. Anthony Warrington and the Williams. We've got Dean's brother, Snake Hips, as his gamer tag is there, also known as Stephen. It's been quite an interesting battle between the two brothers there, Jean, between Dino and Stephen Harrison. The two brothers, they know each other's racing styles so well, and it's just been a battle between the two of them in the front, swapping places all the time. It's going to be a really interesting one to see how they do in this race. And it is the home race for Mercedes, yeah? I'm wondering if it's going to be a wet race like it was this year, though. Yes, it is. It is. It's a tough one to go through. So we've got the first couple of times coming through. So topping the chart at the moment, we've got Dean with a 1:12.4. As I speak to you, we have we've got JBL sitting in Gary Braddon's seat tonight. So he's the replacement driver in the Ferrari seat this evening. So he's done a 1:13.0. We've got Kyle Keegan in the Alpha sitting in third with a 1:13.4. Callum must be taking it easy. He's done a 1:13.8. I think the guys are just pushing enough so they can just stay ahead of that bottom five. Yes, in the Haas, and that would be Jimmy. Jimmy has been driving with the Haas and his teammate Matt Dixon, who's currently set a time of a 1:14.7, so he's sitting in 12th place at the moment. So let's stay on board with Jimmy as he does his flying lap. Let's go on board with him. Flat out. I've got it in kilometers per hour, so he's hitting 324 kilometers down that back straight. And hard. Yeah. It's quite a tricky corner, that, as it's a very late apex to that one. Nice on the curb there, hitting the apex nicely there. Riding the curb. Now comes the tricky right-hander. Oh. The gravel. And he comes across the line. while he has got very low ERS, he could be pushing for a second lap. Yeah. So let's... Coming up to the end of Sector 2 at the moment. He's... Let's see if he can at least extend himself up, because he's sitting in 18th position at the moment. Well, when in doubt, come into the pits and reload that ERS, yeah? Okay, so at the moment we've got Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull. It's quite a tight one there between the top 3, top 4 there, yeah? So that would be what looks to be well that looking very smooth there. We wait in anticipation to see what this lap time. That's actually not a bad lap. It's not a bad lap. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the Racing Point has got such good straight line speed. They suffer around the corners, but they've definitely got the straight line speed with that Mercedes motor. Yeah, that would be JBL. Yeah, JBL. He is our Chinese driver. Yeah, he's currently staying in the UK. Pushing it very hard there. Oh, and he's into the wall. He's currently sitting in the pit lane on the wall. That can't be a good start for him. And he's been reset onto the track. So he's going to have to go right around with a broken wing. That's not going to be too good for him. He's currently sitting in 5th place, so he should comfortably make it back in time and maybe do another lap. But he should be quite comfortable in the... Don't know. I don't think... well, from a driver's point of view, I mean, both you and I drive in our SA League. So... It's a tough call. I mean, he's in the Ferrari. I think he's definitely done enough to stay within the top 15, definitely. Well, I'm currently spectating on 15th place at the moment, Anthony Waddington. He's been quite an impressive driver for Williams over the last couple of races, and he's just one of those drivers where he will bang out such a smooth lap and just surprise everybody and get that Williams in the top 10. So he is now coming towards the stadium section, hitting the right-hander, nice and smooth, coming down onto the third gear, smooth through that banked turn into the S's. Now he's got to keep it nice and smooth as he comes towards the start and finish line. He crosses the line, putting himself in 12th place with a 1:14.1. That could be James in the McLaren, yeah. Actually, under correction. So, James is actually sitting in 10th place in the McLaren with a 1:13.8. Yeah, that would be Rubberneck. So, Gangster is a reserve driver jumping in the seat for Panagliotis. Panagliotis being the ex-teammate for Gary Braddon at Ferrari. And with Callum coming through and with a surprise transfer going from McLaren into the Ferrari seat. So I'm just trying to take a look now. So if I look at it, we've got the two Mercedes drivers, Dean and Steven. So they are here. We've got Bloodsucker, which is Kieran Riddle, and Cesar Lopez in the two Red Bulls. We've got JB. It would be... You are correct in that statement. We are missing an Alpha, and that would be Luke. So Luke isn't here this evening. Well, it's always good to actually have almost a full grid. I mean, missing one driver, you can't really complain about that. And considering the weather is quite awful here in the UK at the moment, it's been raining the whole day. So he could be having a couple of connection issues. You never know. It is the UK. It's known for its wet weather. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now a minute and just under a minute 30 seconds left of Q1. We have a few drivers that I see have gone out on track. We've got Gareth in the Toro Rosso going out. Who else do we have? We've also got Jimmy with the Haas. He is out on track. We've also, with 1 minute left, we've got Michael. Right, and I'm spectating on Michael Booker at the moment in the Williams. That would be Zola. He is coming around the corner. He's got 45 seconds. He should make it to start his last lap. Grabbing a bit of grass there, just pushing that car to the limits. will we see both Williams in the top 15? I will spectate on him with the onboard shot as he comes start his flying lap. That's turn 1 into turn 2. Don't really feel turn 2. Hard on the brakes for turn 3. It's almost a hairpin. Nicely on the apex coming through for turn 3 into turn 4. Oh, and he goes wide. That's going to cost him. That would be Gregor. So, ladies and gentlemen, after the round of Q1, the bottom 4 drivers have been knocked out. That would be in the Renault. That would be John Taylor. That would be Michael Booker in the Williams. That would be Jimmy in the Haas. And 16th place would be Gregor in the point racing. Wow, that was quite a interesting Q1. Guys rushing out to try and do their last couple of laps. See if they can push it in. So ladies and gentlemen, you are currently watching as what we are the pit lane for Q2 of the Talk of the Devil League round 2, season 2, round 10 in Germany. I do understand that the stream currently says it is our sister league. Right. Yes, I will actually do that right now. As we're actually talking about the chat, I just want to take a look and see if we've got any comments coming through on our chat board. We do. So we do have a couple of people on the chat. Like I said, I've given Fireworks a shout out. That is our reigning champion's uncle. He's definitely giving his backing to his nephew. We've got a few people saying that 1 or 2 people need to crash out. It's going to be quite an interesting one. Let's go take a look at Jamie in the McLaren. Yes, yeah, you are correct with that. Yeah, that would be the C4, the soft, the C3, the medium, and the C2, the hard. Right, so we've got Jamie started his flying lap. We were right on board with him, hitting the DRS. That would be interesting. So that way you can actually keep up with who's on the track and who's gone off. That's a brilliant idea. Kieran with a 1:13.7 comes across the line, pushing it hard, puts himself in 6th place. So ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder that this is this is just a reminder that this is Q2. So the drivers that have set their fastest lap times on the tire that they're on will then use that tire in the start of the race. Right, so who is out on a fast lap? I'm currently spectating on Callum. That, as if I'm looking at it now, that is Stephen Harrison in the Mercedes. Stephen Harrison is out in Q2. I wonder if he was the driver that hit the yellow flag. Yeah. And we've got Callum in there with a 1:13.9, putting himself in 2nd position at the moment. Matt Dixon's definitely pulled out something out of the bag there. I'm currently spectating on Dean as well. Will he be able to push that Mercedes into 1st position there? I'm actually going to hand it over to you when he starts his flying lap. And then you can give us a guided tour as he hits his lap. What a lap. What a lap there by Dean. So the only driver that has not set a time at the moment is Gareth in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, he must have had a bit of a spin there. So we'll take a look. We'll spectate on this and see where he puts that Toro Rosso. Right. Well, this is quite interesting. Jean, will you just please double check that your audio is included on my stream? I do want to make sure. There we go. Alright, so hopefully we can hear you. Let's just take a look at your take a listen to the stream and see if you're coming through. So yes, there we go. You are coming through on the stream. Fantastic. Right. Yeah, before the beginning of the race, yeah.
Okay, so he's actually Captain Crunch has done a 4, which leaves
Rubbernecker.
yeah? Yeah, Rubbernecker is now in danger of with Newman Bull also.
And as we're talking there,
and
sorry
Glenn
to interrupt,
also,
Anthony Waddington has now put that Williams in second place with a 1:13.3.
that is an absolute crack of a lap in a Williams.
Well, that Williams, yeah. And I mean, this is a realistic performance league. So it just goes to show you, like I said in Q1, Anthony will definitely throw out those surprising laps.
Currently doesn't look like.
Well, we do see that we've got Caesar in the Red Bull. That would be Calypso. That would be... and there's contact between the McLaren and the Red Bull of Caesar. Which McLaren was that? And that would have been...
Gangster.
Yeah, that is Gangster. Oh, I will not be happy with that.
So unfortunate.
And that would have bombed out his...
Funworks, thanks for the...
ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to myself. Yeah, we are listening to myself and my co-commentator Iceman for the main league round 10 in Germany. Let's see if I can actually share the stream to you via for some reason I can't seem to share my screen. So let me do it the old school way, go via the Twitch app.
Final runs currently, and it's all the guys up from 12th that's going out.
So I'm currently spectating on Jamie in the McLaren. He's definitely on an out lap. So, as we sit here waiting for the laps to start, we've got Dean in first, we've got Anthony in second, we've got Kieran in third, Callum in fourth, Matt Dixon in fifth, JBL in sixth, Caesar in seventh, Kyle Keegan in eighth. We have Devon Little in ninth, Jorge in
well,
10th
so
place.
far from the top 10, we've only got for a lap.
Well, I thought he would have gone out for that lap, considering he got hit, or he had that contact with the McLaren. And Jamie
considering
starts
that
his,
8th, 9th,
lap.
and 10th is still in the pit. Even 11th. Lap, he's gonna at least start 11th. It might be dropping down to 14th. Let's see what Robinacker and Newmendel are for the rest of this session.
So that is Joe Newman and Stephen Harrison out in Q2. Things are looking very interesting, as I'm still currently spectating on Jamie as he comes towards the end of Sector 2. He's up on his time. Hopefully he keeps it nice and smooth here in the stadium. Yeah.
Coming through to the second sector, and he's half a second up. That will come to put him on a 13.7, 13.6. If he can keep
That's
that going.
not bad. And
let's see if he can
Jamie
go
has
faster.
pushed himself into 9th position. So that has pushed Jorge down into 11th place. So at the moment at the bottom, and that is the end of Q2. Well, we will take a look at the time as it comes.
Well, he
up
went
on
third,
the
so that
board.
is at least a 13.6, I believe.
And you are correct. So that is a
13.4.
13.4. That is an impressive lap. That is a very impressive lap. So, ladies and gentlemen,
On
at
the final sector.
the drivers that have been knocked out in Q2 is Jorge in the Renault. That is the McLaren in 12th with a penalty for causing the collision with Caesar in the Red Bull. Joe Newman in 13th. Both Toro Rossos are out in Q2, with Gareth being in 14th and then Stephen Harrison in 15th place. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the shootout.
Now let's see what happens with 3 shootout, 12 minutes. We've got proper drivers in here. Wadobu that came into from Q2 in a Williams.
It's absolutely amazing. Right.
Yeah,
so who's
that was
out
a
first?
Good lap.
It looks to be the
Alpha.
of Kyle that's gone out.
He's not wasting any time. He wants to get this over and done with and start the race.
Now we're going to see the guys going flat out, seeing what those F1 cars can do on this German track. Interesting, this year the German track was actually sponsored by Mercedes, who then had a horrible weekend that weekend. I mean, that's also put to the future of the German track under investigation. I mean, if you have to look at it, it's an F1 team sponsoring that race, and for them to have such an awful race, I don't know. Hey, the future of Hockenheim looks very bleak in the F1 calendar.
Yeah. We're saying go, Callum, go. Callum,
Yeah,
while
that
you
would.
are on my stream, let me know how the sound quality is. I'm using a new.
Right, so let's just quickly get back to the chats. Right, so Kyle has now started his flying lap. He's down to the hairpin, looking nice and neat and tidy.
Yeah, I'm coming through to turn 5 and 6.
Pushing the limits on those apexes, riding the curb.
Yes, he
coming
is.
into
Let's see.
the stadium right now. Looking smooth, riding a little bit more of the curb now into the banked corner. This is the corner that was very famously made in 2018 with Vettel leading the race and then going off and crashing out. So Kyle comes across the line to set the first lap. He does a 1:13.4, and then you've got Kieran with a 1:12.3 with his teammate Caesar with a 1:12.6. Callum with a 1:12.69, putting him in third place. So at the moment it's the 2 Red Bulls and the 2 Ferraris sitting in first, second, third, and fourth.
Okay, fun works. I'm gonna push the sound up a bit.
And Dean Harrison comes through with a 1:16.5.
I think Dean is building up momentum because I'm seeing he's still got.
And Matt Dixon has retired from the session.
Oh, that is unfortunate. And he's currently in 6th.
Matt Dixon is out in Q3. And with everybody then coming through to set faster laps as the track rubbers in, I'm sure that'll push him down a bit further down.
Dean coming through to the final end of as compared to his first lap, and he went up by 3 seconds already.
So that's going to push him into the 1:12s. Could it be the low 1:12s? Could he push the 1 minute?
Let's see if he can push it to 11s. Let's see, coming through to the finals.
And he does a 1 minute 1:99, putting him in provisional pole right now. That is a brilliant lap there by Dean.
And I mean that his flying lap on brand new tires, so it's already a set that's gone through a lap cycle already.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment we've got Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Kyle in the Alpha, Matt Dixon sitting currently in 8th place in the Haas, and then we've got Devin Little in the point racing, and Anthony with the Williams.
He's going a bit faster, but not in. He's in 7th, but he's gone faster with 2.
Right, so I'm currently spectating on Callum, the reigning Talk of the Devil League champion. He was actually out for a couple of races due to medical issues, but has come back flying and actually found himself in the Ferrari seat, moving from Mercedes down to McLaren and then now into a Ferrari seat.
Oh, and we've got a
And
yellow
Anthony
flag
Warrington
again.
has retired from the session, so Anthony is out, so he's definitely in 10th place. Yellow sectors
Left
2
with,
and 3.
with the
Hopefully that
Williams.
doesn't interfere with Callum.
And Callum is on his
As
out
we
lap,
will-
so he's going to only start his fast lap round now.
So we'll do the onboard shot with Callum as he starts his flying lap.
Oh, Funbook says he is Callum's uncle.
Yes. Once again, shout out to Callum's family. I see Kieran gets out nicely the way there for Callum. So Callum is down by a 0.1 on his time. Can he make that up in sector 2? We know the Ferrari's got the straight line speed.
I've boosted my sound as well now again.
So we're coming into up to the Mercedes grandstand, around the S turns, coming towards the end. He's up on his time by 2 tenths.
Let's see if he can keep this going.
So if he keeps it at 2 tenths, he should put him third. Yeah. Nice.
Let's see if he can go faster.
Corners. Coming around the last
Final
turn.
Open.
And he does
And
a
he does
112.372 that
and
pushes him into
third.
third place.
Second.
And we've got Caesar, who's now started his flying lap. And we've got JBL with a 112.10, putting himself in the original pole. And Dean Harrison reply to that. I'm currently spectating with Caesar at the moment.
Okay, so Dean
Comes
is
over there,
in
looking really smooth,
second
yeah.
place, currently finishing his. I'm going to try and jump on board with him. Oh, we've got a yellow.
Caesar comes out of sector 2. He's also 2 tenths up on his time. He's 2 tenths. That should put him in.
Okay, Dean starting his fast lap.
Place. Oh no! Caesar coming across the line. Caesar putting himself into third place. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently watching.
Get new tires and go out for another lap. Oh my word,
So
that was.
This is such an interesting Q3 at the moment. So at the moment we've got Ferrari, Mercedes, the 2 Red Bulls, the sister Ferrari, the McLaren, Kyle in the Alpha, Matt Dixon still sitting in 8th place. We've got Devon Little in the point racing in 9th and Anthony Warrington in 10th place. Who is out on an out lap. We've got Kyle on an out lap at the moment.
Okay, let's see. Bloodsucker is gonna go for it. Saving ERS currently. Well, he's actually done a lap.
Dusted by Kyle as he comes around the first corner. So we come to the end and Kyle is up by 0.21 up on his time. Hard on the brakes for the hairpin. Looking... I'm currently taking a look
on the screen. Especially if you're
it is towards the end of Q3, so I don't think it's going to interfere too much on their times. But that could be... Yes, that is drops. I do see drops of rain.
Oh, that is interesting.
And Kyle has pulled out of his flying lap. Who else is out? So we've got
on
Callum,
his
who's going to... So Kyle has retired.
And
so
Callum is still... He's 0.3 up. 0.041 up on...
So if he can increase his time...
Coming into the hairpin right now.
I think he'll be looking to try and get at least third place.
Come on, let's see what he does.
Into this. And he's aborted. He's aborted his lap.
I think
So
if he
at the
kept
end
his
of
lap
Q3,
going,
we've got JBL in first, Dean in second, Caesar in third, Kieran in fourth, Callum in fifth, Jamie in sixth, Kyle in seventh, Matt in eighth, Devin in ninth, and Anthony in 10th place. So that rain must have come in and did interfere with the last couple of laps. Wouldn't you say, Iceman?
confused as to why Callum actually slowed lap. He was looking smooth and like he was going to go a bit faster than his lap that he did post, and then suddenly just slammed on the brakes and said, you know what, I'm happy.
Well, it could be a strategy trying to save a bit of extra tyre life for fastest lap towards the end of the race. And just so you know, Jean, Talk the Devil League works a little bit differently to how we run our SA League. So they do have fastest lap of the race, which you get your point. And then they've also got fastest lap outside of the top 10. That also gets a championship point.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's good.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to myself, Tamer Curved, Ivan Dalport, and my co-commentator, Iceman. I'm quickly going to do the race intro. So, this is Germany round 10, season 2 of the Talk of the Devil League. Germany shares its borders with 9 other countries. 1/3 of Germany is still covered by forest and woodlands. Amazingly enough, for a country that has done so much in the motor world regarding the highway, the autobahn, and goodies like that. The track is 2.84 miles long. We have 3 DRS zones. The first being in coming up from the last corner to the first corner. The second one from the first corner down to corner 3, and then the third one coming towards the hairpin at turn 6. We've got the track which has got 17 corners, 10 to the right and 7 to the left. Action zones to be looking out for: in turn 1, in the year 2000, we had Fisichella driving into the back of Michael Schumacher, which caused a lot of controversial there. Turn 6 in 2014, the battle between Kimi Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton, and Daniel Ricciardo. And then turn 13, the famous turn 13, coming into on that banked corner in 2018, Sebastian Vettel leading the race when the rain came through, and then crashing out in turn 13. The tires that we have out on the track for the race this weekend is the C4, the soft, the C3, the medium, and the C2, the hard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's around about 19 to 20 seconds for a pit stop around this track. So, Jean, looking at the last 3 qualifying sessions, What is your take on the Talk of the Devil League races at the moment?
Well, one thing that I can definitely say is it doesn't look as strict as some of the other leagues that I've seen.
Yeah,
Um,
they do run a regular rules
okay,
within
well,
this league. Yeah.
that's something that I did see. But yeah, other than that, I think the 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 rivalries here is actually very good. You see a lot of guys being very close to each other.
Yeah, so let's just talking about rivalries and goodies like that. Let's take a look at the constructors championships at the moment. So we've got Mercedes at the top of the log with 326 points, then Ferrari with 160, Red Bull with 134, then McLaren and Racing Point sharing fourth and fifth with 76 points each, Alpha with 57, Williams with 54. Renault with 24, Toro 1 point behind them with 23, and then Haas with 4 points. Driver standings at the moment, you got Stephen Harrison in first place with 183 points, and then sitting in second place is Gary Braddon, who's not here this evening with 125 points. Then Stephen's brother Dino sitting in third with 115 points. Kieran Knight, Kieran Riddle in fourth place, Callum in fifth, Kyle Keegan in sixth, Caesar in seventh, James or Jamie in eighth, Anthony Warrington in ninth with 22 points, and rounding the top 10 is Gregor with 17 points. So you are once again listening to myself, Tamer Curved, and my co-commentator Iceman for this evening's race. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that we also had the Elite League running. That is one of our sister leagues. That is with the multiplayer cars and a 25% race distance. That's for the guys that have shown their worth within the Talk of the Level League and have moved up into that league so that they give one another a bit more extra competition.
I've got Funworks asking you. Well, you first said that Callum slowed down because he didn't want to take the risk with the rain coming down. And then
which makes
he's
sense.
asking,
Yes.
yeah, he's also asking you about the rain during the race. So just to give you feedback on that, the rain is set on, or the weather is set on dynamic. So it is as come as we see. We do not know if it will be raining. We've got no idea what will happen. So let's see. Hopefully there is rain. It will definitely
spice up the
race.
Yes, it would definitely will. If there are any drivers that are happening to listen to the stream, if you guys could let us know what the weather forecast is. As commentators, we can't tell you what's happening.
Yeah, it would be awesome if we could have that setting into the game as well.
On our chat, we've got the Talk of the Devil League 2 responding to us as well. So hello there, whoever is running that. I think that would be Ben. Ben, if you are listening to the stream, let us know via the chat, how did the Elite race go? As we are waiting for the drivers to ready up. Let's see. From what I can see, there is going to be a custom grid set up for this race. It's very interesting there. Guys are busy chatting through on the group. And as I'm looking at down the list, I don't see Caesar. So one of the Red Bull drivers.
Yeah,
you see,
definitely right.
from what I see on the chat at the moment, Caesar is telling everyone that he's in the lobby, but his car isn't in.
He is in the Red Bull, right?
Yeah.
Well, it might be the problem that we had earlier as well this week with our South African league, where they don't show with the drivers lined up now, but as soon as the formation lap starts, then they will be put into their car. So,
Well, hopefully that will be the case in this situation.
yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to myself, Ivan Delport, and my co-commentator, Iceman, aka Jean, or Jean, for our British guys who would see his name.
Okay, so Funworks has just told me now that apparently it is dry, then it's going to go wet, and then dry again.
Ooh, so it's going to be a really interesting race coming up.
Yeah, it is going to be
You're going-
interesting.
You're going to
I have
definitely
to
see the experienced drivers come through within the
I
wet
have
session.
to say, I'm actually intrigued to see what's going to happen, because so far from what I've seen from qualifying is that Dean the Fat Bean is definitely the benchmark for this race, but with that speed comes a very loose back end, especially into turn one. So I want to definitely see what he does. And will he be able
Well,
to manage turn one during the race? Because it's definitely been his downfall during the qualifying. I mean, I've watched 3 or 4 of his laps, and on all 4 of those laps, he almost lost the back end. And at one lap, he did lose the back end.
which was the lap that he was going to try and beat JBL's first place, yeah?
Exactly. So yeah, it's very interesting to see will he be able to keep that going.
So I've just seen on the chat that we will have 3 minutes until the race starts.
Okay, interesting.
Hopefully that Caesar will be able to jump in on the pit lane or within the grid slots. So So, ladies and gentlemen, while we are sitting here waiting for the drivers to ready up, a little bit of news headlines that are coming through. The biggest one of this weekend would be the fact that we've got the hurricane right off the coast of China, or Japan, sorry, off the coast of Japan, which has really given awful weather, and therefore the FIA have decided to move Saturday's qualifying over to the Sunday, and it's only the 4th time that ever has happened, that where the qualifying has been moved to a Sunday. Obviously, it's for the safety reasons. None of the drivers really want to race in or be doing any fast laps in conditions within hurricane conditions. And from what I understand, for the UK viewers, qualifying will be around about 2 o'clock in the morning, and the race will be at
your
7.
time, eh?
Would it be 1 o'clock our time? Well, then
Yeah,
I
you
stand
guys
corrected. Thank you
are.
very much for correcting me there.
Yeah, because what I've heard from South Africa was it's going to be 2 o'clock South African time. So you guys are an
Yeah.
hour behind. So it's going to be 1 o'clock in the
Okay.
morning, which is in a couple of hours' time, actually.
Yes.
4 hours' time from now.
4 hour time for you, yeah?
For you too, eh?
Really? Awesome.
But yeah. Then the race will be 6 o'clock tomorrow, your guys' time. So it's a very early morning for everyone.
Yeah, and unfortunately I have to be at work in that time. I was so looking forward to watching that race. I really was. A couple of pictures that have come through are in between all the F1 groups that I'm part of. The sky actually turned purple
Yes.
um, on Friday as the weather started coming in. It burned purple, purple. It was such a beautiful color.
Yeah, so
But with
I
that
think
beauty comes nasty weather, yeah?
yeah, I think the whole of Japan took decisions based on the weather, not only for people going to the F1 race or the rugby or so on for the spectators, but I think in a country as whole, they actually standing together and preparing for the storm, which is actually fantastic to see. I mean, you looked at the most important rugby matches of the World Cup being cancelled during this week. It was the France versus England battle, and also New Zealand versus Italy. Well, it's not a real battle between New Zealand and Italy, but it could have changed the outcomes of how the groups ended up. But I think everyone is missing the England France battle that was going to happen, because those two nations has had pretty awesome battles in Rugby World Cup history. So yeah, to have that cancelled is a major shock for the world, but for safety purposes, I think it was the best decision to take.
Right. We've
And
got
we all
five lights. Five lights, and it's race time in Germany. And JBL gets a really good start with Dean Harrison coming in.
Oh, and we've got
the
contact
touch of the
between
two
the two
Ferrari and the
leaders.
Ferrari. Oh,
Oh
so
my
right
word.
now, that's such a
Oh, you went
hard
from first
one there for
to
Dean Harrison. So
last.
at the moment, we've got Kieran running in first, Callum in second, Caesar in third, Matt Dixon in fourth, Anthony Waddington in fifth place. Up places.
And
What
we've
an
got,
impressive run there by
we've
Anthony.
got a horse, Krusty Clown,
we've-
out of the race.
So
And the
that
Reynolds
is
of
Jimmy
legend.
out of the race.
That is
And
so
Anthony Warrington is
unfortunate.
now challenging Caesar,
And
coming on the
Dean has
inside.
already lost
He's
his
definitely
front
got that
wheel.
fourth place. We've got a good couple of battles running on.
So
Everybody's now come
Mr.
into single
Wilson
file.
here, trying to battle his way back. He's already up to 15th again. But Bloodsucker and Callum is definitely well, they the big gainers of this whole thing. And also Matt Dixon up to third from eighth.
Third
That's
place.
a fast place.
From eighth place. That's. I mean, if you although you can see the fastest lap at the moment is Kieran. That is the first lap. So if we look at it, let's take and get you some information up on the screen here. So the two biggest winner, well, the biggest winner of the start there would be Anthony Waddington with 6 places.
In the Williams, that is impressive. He's currently having a battle with the Red Bull. He's actually
that would be
beating
with Caesar.
Padilla. Let's see if we can
And
keep
the-
it going.
And the biggest loser out of all of that would be JBL in the Ferrari with 13 places, and Dean
And
Harrison.
Dean, 15 places.
Currently have John Taylor in the pits.
Oh, and we got the Alpha going wide and losing a place to one of the Toro Rossos.
And as we've been taking a look, we've got that battle between Caesar and Anthony. Caesar right on the back of that Williams right now, going on the outside. Can he push it around? Anthony keeps that inside line.
The Alpha trying to come back through the back straight. Alpha's gone past on the outside. Oh, and Sipla gets Padilla gets a knock from the back, managing to keep that going. That is that is good for him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 3 of round 10 in Germany for the Talk of the Devil League, we currently have Kieran in first place, Callum in second, who is within DRS zone because it is lap 3, so DRS is now active.
Okay, fun words. I've turned down the racing sound again. It does seem to in the race to be louder than qualifying, and we've
Anthony
got
now still catching up
Snake
to
Hips.
Yeah, we've got Stephen Harrison. He's on a pushing lap. He's now up into 8th place.
Putting pressure on the Alpha there. Let's see what happens. He'll be having DRS right now, but I think the Alpha is also going to have DRS. But Snake
So
Hips
that is
definitely
a battle between Kyle and
already on
Dean
the
takes
outside.
it.
Let's see. Yeah, he's gone past the Alpha with ease. Both of them
Dean
had
is
DRS
scuttling
open.
through the field like a hot knife through butter at the moment. And we see that Jorge has overtaken the McLaren, and the McLaren comes back, fighting side by side as they come into towards the... And we've got Jamie with a 3-second penalty. And we'll get back up the list here with the battle between first and second. That's between Kieran and Callum. The Ferrari is breathing down the neck of the Red Bull there.
Okay, so the number 76 Ferrari is pushing hard to get back into cutting time down from the leaders. He's on the back of Talfi right now. Let's see.
Sorry to interrupt, and Caesar comes through, takes on the inside, takes that 4th position. And Caesar's he's into the wall.
Oh my word! I just saw the back end of that.
And
That
Callum has
is-
definitely taken that first position from Kieran, and they're fighting. Oh my word! Karen darting.
No, this is a very close battle between the number 6 Ferrari and the number 15 Red Bull.
As they come into the
DRS
stadium,
definitely
playing its part there, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see what Mr. Wilson is doing here in the number 76 Ferrari. He's gone past
Well, he's fought his way
Captain
back up
Crunch
into
and
10th place,
Talfi.
so he's currently sitting in the points.
He's catching the Reynolds in front of him with ease during the stadium section at the back. Let's see what he does. Main straight. DRS opens, catching that Reynolds, going through the first corner. DRS opened again, going for the inside of turn 2, and he makes it stick.
And Ferrari's definitely got the trade line speed, but Kieran takes it. Not going to give that position up easily. Comes back from the inside.
Well, there's so many battles happening on this track right now. Well,
Anthony
I have to
Warrington
say,
taking 3rd place from Matt Dixon.
well, the leaders has already built up a 10-second gap between first, second, and 3rd place.
This is interesting, and I'm also currently spectating on Stephen in the Mercedes. He's now up into 5th place, and also breathing down that gearbox of the Haas of Matt Dixon. Beautiful onboard shot of the wing. As they come into the technical section around the last corner, DRS will be active for the Merc. Takes a look, Decides not to do it down here. Will he use the second DRS zone? Matt Dixon getting a bit of a
Callum is
out of that.
having an awesome battle. Funworks, yes, he is having a big battle with the Red Bull. And he's going for the overtake again into the hairpin, and he's got it. Let's see if he can keep it going.
He's got the
Red Bull coming back on the
goes wide.
inside. He keeps on losing it. He just needs that one lap where he can make it stick.
And there's a three-way battle here between for third place. That's Anthony, that is Stephen, and that's Matt Dixon. And Stephen comes out wide. Got the inside line. Matt Dixon decides he's going to try and take that as well. Takes that opportunity.
Oh, the Williams and the
Anthony's not giving up that position.
Going at it. Oh my word.
So Stephen is now up into third place, and now he's got that 10-second gap to bring down to catch the top two. And Anthony Matt Dixon swapping places left, right and centre, pushing Anthony wide a little bit, and there's touch between and Matt Dixon has been sit out.
Oh, it's been
that's not gonna help. Matt is not gonna be happy. And as I'm watching this, we've got Jamie coming through, having a really good battle on the inside there with the Toro Rosso of Joe Newman.
Callum going on the inside again on the hairpin. Can he make it? He's on the inside and he's pushing Bloodsucker wide, and he's got it.
This time
made
he's got
it stick this time. Let's see if the Red Bull come back at him. If he can stay on the back of him through the next section, he should have DRS, and he can come back at him. Oh, and he's already coming back at him. Whoo, that's a big look in the inside. Oh, and he runs
and he goes wide a little bit of dust there from the back wheels. And there's a really good battle here for 5th, 6th and 7th. JBL already up into 8th place, fighting for 7th.
Coming through the final corner. So now the Red Bull's got DRS open. Let's see what the Red Bull can do. I can already see Snake Hips is already made up about 2 seconds on the 2 leaders. And this time it's the Red Bull chasing the Ferrari. Let's look what the speed difference is going to be down the back straight.
We'll do the onboard shot with Kieran. DRS is open.
Let's see what happens.
Getting a good slipstream. Will he take a look on the inside?
Is coming down the inside. Oh, nice him pushing the Ferrari wide. The Ferrari just keeps it going.
But he's right on the tail.
Oh my word!
Side by side.
Oh,
and
that was
keeping
so
his cool
close.
and keeping that position. Getting back down here. We've got Anthony going wide. It's a 4-way. There's contact between the Red Bull and Anthony. And the Toro Rosso and Anthony. So that's pushed Kyle, Jamie up into 4th, Kyle into 5th, and JBL up into 6th place.
Well, the guy who started 2nd, or was it 3rd, Mr. Werson, is currently down into 6th place. So he's definitely gaining again, but he's almost 20 seconds down from the leader. And Bloodsucker is not, well, he's close enough. Let's see what he does down the back straight with the DRS open. But he's already half a second behind Callum. Let's see, DRS open, coming down 3/10.
And JBL is on the move. He is now up into 5th place.
Yeah, and the other Ferrari, number 76 Ferrari. Let's see if he can work his magic. And we've got
and
Dean
I
the
see
Fat
that Kieran
Bean.
has taken that place. Ooh, and there's contact between the 2 front runners.
Dean the Fat Bean currently in 13th position.
Not having a good recovery drive there
down.
like the Ferrari driver are at the moment. But this battle between the top 2 is side by side. The amount of space they're giving one another.
To 2nd again.
Yes. Kieran
Did he make a mistake?
taken that 1st place. There was a bit of a wide running, I think, in the hairpin.
Okay, let's see. He's only half a second behind him. Less than a half a second as he catches. Let's see if he can go past again. The Red Bull definitely looks hooked up during the corners.
And he's got that slipstream.
Tenths,
DRS is
1/10.
open. Comes
He's
down on the outside.
and he's
He's
passed
definitely got
already.
that position very comfortably.
He's gone past already before the hairpin even. That was a good break there from him.
And something's happened to Anthony Wellington. He's spun out.
In the
He's now
Williams.
down in 11th place.
And Dean the Fat
Dean coming
Dean
into
has
12th.
just gone past the Toro Rosso there of Glamburn.
And this three-way battle here for 8th, 9th and 10th. Between the Renault, the Point Race and the Toro Rosso. So much action happening out as I jump back up to the top two. Kieran is behind the Ferrari of Callum. DRS is open. He takes a bit of a look. Decides not to do it into turn 1. Will he use the second DRS zone to come into corner 3? Takes a look. No.
It's only
It's
two
going to be a
tenths
run down
behind.
to the hairpin.
He should be able to bring down those 4 tenths quite easily with the DRS open.
Shot again, yes.
But you never know with the straight line speed of the Ferrari, and the Ferrari is actually breaking away without DRS.
But you can see Kieran is so much later on the brakes.
And
he comes and is pushing past.
On the exit of the...
Side by side.
Can you believe it? Oh, he's on the inside again, Callum. Let's see if we can keep it going. This time, Bloodsucker going wide, and Callum in the lead again. Whew, this is too close for comfort.
Side by side as they come into the stadium area.
Oh my word, this is so close. It looks like a battle that's going to change every lap.
Dino. Anthony can really make that Williams really wide if he wants to.
Oh, and it's starting to rain. I'm seeing drops
and
on
the rain
screen.
is coming in.
I'm on
Who
board
will be the
with
first to
Ferrari
pit out of the top
of
3?
Callum. Let's see what happens. It's open.
I mean, while we've been watching this battle between Callum and Kieran, and Callum has just taken first position again, Snowkips, Stephen Harrison has clawed that gap down to 2.3 seconds.
I started to say the same thing now. And Rubbernacke is only 17 seconds behind. And Callum down to second again.
Swapping place, and he's up to first again. They're swapping places left, right, and centre, and this is going to play into into Stephen's hands. Oh, the amount of respect these two drivers are giving one another. Who's going to be the first to pit?
So I'm on board here with JBL with the number 76 Ferrari, and he is catching to the back of the McLaren of Rubbernacke. Well, I've got information here that Callum really wants this win after last weekend's race. I'm not sure what happened last weekend, but it doesn't sound very good.
Unfortunately, I can't really tell you what happened towards the end, as my stream had got kicked out.
Okay, so we've got Callum in first place again. He's got a lead of half a second now, but Bloodsucker keeps on coming back at him. And Bloodsucker looks like... Okay, well, I'm on JBL here. Oh, JBL on the grass. Oh, and he's still coming. Oh, my word. He didn't break early enough for that corner. That's putting
Now
him
you
down
can definitely
again.
see the raindrops coming down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so we've
that's
still got,
Red Bull looking very squirrely under the wet weather conditions.
and we've got Snake Hips right behind the two leaders right now.
And that is our championship leader at the moment, who's right behind the top two, having a battle. Yeah, this could be a three-way battle in the next couple of laps.
Look, if Dean the Fat Bean, if this was a dry race, he would have been in a very good position. Because everyone else still needs to pit, and he has already pitted once. So that would have put him in a very good position.
That would have been a really good plus
But
for him.
unfortunately, with the
And
rain coming down, I see DRS is still active for now. And oh, Dean the Fat Bean going on the inside of turn one, and there's contact. Oh, they touch wheels. At least no damage between Dean and Gangster there. It looks like Talfi went off track. There's yellow flags in the third sector of the track. We still got Callum as the leader. With Snake Hips right
in the
behind.
front with these top three. I think they're just keeping it easy. They're seeing who's going to go into the pits first. Will it be the Ferrari of Kieran? Will it be the Red Bull of Kieran? Or will it be Steven in the Mercedes?
The problem is they need to wait till the time starts dropping. Because at this stage it's not slow enough yet to go for inters or for full wets.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is lap 16 of Germany. At the moment we've got a three-way battle in the front.
Has got DRS open as well as got Bloodsucker in front of him on DRS.
And Matt Dixon has joined in on the session again. And Caesar climbing his way back up into 12th position at the moment.
Snake Hips grabbing second place there for a brief moment.
You see, this is the type of racing that I would love to see on the real thing, you know. Have Ferrari, have Red Bull, have Merc right there against one another. Another penalty there for Jamie.
And the rain, you can definitely see the rain coming down harder now. And Funworks also saying that the track is getting slick.
Is having some trouble with his back end on the car. It's definitely sliding out with the
okay. So all
three
of the leaders
and all three are coming in. This is going to be a pit lane battle. Callum out first. Then Merc of Snake Hips, Steven,
so
and then
Snake Hips has
Kieran.
Past Bloodsucker.
So Mercedes pulling out a blinder of a pit stop there.
Yeah, just to get the... And I see all three of them are on inters.
I see everybody is now coming in for the inters. Kyle up into 5th place there.
JBL still trying to catch Rubbernecker. Oh, we've got Captain Crunch coming out in 6th position.
That round of pit stops has definitely played into his hands.
Well, Dean the Fat Bean is currently in 7th position after finding himself down in 19th after the first lap, or well, after the first corner.
So the only person out on the dry tyre at the moment is the Renault of John Taylor.
He is coming into the pits now. He is a lap down, it looks like it already, so Yes, he is. The leader is coming past the
Yes.
finish straight now. So they are lapping him currently.
So we've got on lap 18. It has now started to rain in Germany. Of the Talk of the Devil Season 2, you are currently viewing Snake Hips, which is Stephen Harrison, chasing down Callum, the reigning world champion at the moment in the Ferrari.
Okay, so
Oh, and Kieran missing his braking point there, coming really close to the back end of that Merc.
the Ferrari in the second sector of the track, and Snake Hips trying everything to get past the Ferrari.
Now, it leaves me to believe, did Stephen now know that obviously with the rain coming in within the race, is he running now a bit of a higher back wing, a bit more wings to help him with his wet race pace?
Well, you can definitely see that Snake Hips is a bit slower down the straights. Oh, almost into the back of the Ferrari there. But yeah, being slow on the straights is definitely, you can see his speed on the corners are definitely a lot better.
And Anthony Waddington taking 11th place there from Caesar.
Oh, and
Ooh,
we've got
Kieran taking a
Bloodsucker
look.
almost running into the back of Snake Hips. Just on the fastest lap so far, Dean the Fat Bean has done 17.2. And the three leaders is all on 17.7, 17.4, 17.7. So Dean has definitely put down the gauntlet in the early stages of this race before it started raining. And we've got Snake Hips coming past Callum on the inside and
very
runs
wide. Eclipse the 100 board. That leaves him open for Kieran to take him on the outside.
Oh, and the Red Bull's
Kieran
gone
is now
past.
up into second place.
Oh, what a moment there. He went for the lead and he actually lost the spot. But he's still staying on the back of Bloodsucker.
A little bit of loss of concentration, or being right behind another car, you lose that downforce in the front. And I think that's what might have caught him.
Most probably, yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we're coming through to start lap 20 of 67, we've got Callum in the Ferrari in first, Kieran in second, right on the gearbox of that Ferrari.
Well, I've got Padilla and Wedo here in the Red
Waddington,
Bull
yeah,
and the
Anthony
Williams,
Waddington, yeah.
that is actually having a good battle as well for 12th and 13th position.
And this battle for the top, with the top three, is so close. Let's give some other drivers some airtime. Let's go down to Kyle. Kyle is chasing down. What looks to be Devon Little in the point racing. And every time I move away from the top three, that gap gets smaller and smaller.
Snake Hips is actually struggling currently to stay with the two in front of him.
Could he have
It's
picked up a bit
just
of
over
damage hitting that board? I don't think so, though.
No, I really doubt that damage could have been given by that board.
Kieran taking a look. Decides not to do it down in the first corner.
Coming through to turn 2. Oh, and we've got the Red Bull
and
coming
Kieran's
up
going.
on the outside of the Ferrari for the hairpin. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and the
Kieran
Red
going
Bull
wide.
runs wide. Oh my word! Three-way
Oh, and he comes
battle
back at him.
side by side. The Ferrari on the outside again. Oh my word! He's pushing hard. Oh, okay. Now Bloodsucker has got a lead of half a second. The question is, I see the rain is still coming down hard. Is there going to be a point where they're going to need to come in
For the full wets?
for full wets?
That'd be very interesting to see. It would be very, very interesting to see. As I take an onboard shot from Stephen's view, he takes a bit of a look at Callum, decides not to. Bit of a gap opening up there.
And Legend is currently... Oh my word! Woo! That was so close. Dean the Fat Bean almost ran into the back of Legend there. And Dean the Fat Bean is within a second. Oh, almost losing it into turn one. As I said before the race, that during qualifying
you did mention that turn one, yeah.
that he has had problems with turn one and he almost lost it again. But he is on it. He is trying to catch JBL in front of him.
I mean, if you look at it, it's almost that would be the splitting image of what happened to Bottas this year in Germany.
That's correct. Also in the in a Merc.
Yeah, at turn one. So,
and
look here, we've got Kieran who's opened up a bit of a lead.
Yeah,
we do have a back marker in between the Ferrari.
And Snake is trying everything because he's looking at that gap just growing and growing between himself and the Red Bull in first. So he wants to clear the Ferrari so he can get back on chasing down the Red Bull there.
And not having the DRS has definitely come into play.
Definitely, yes. You can definitely see the Ferrari struggling in the wet conditions.
Oh, and Steven gets a better run off of out of that last corner. They're side by side down the back.
Snake hips on the inside. Oh, there's a bit of contact. And Snake hips has passed. He's into second now. And that gap has already gone up to 3 seconds now. So Snake hips is going to try everything to bring that gap down now.
Can Callum stay on the back end of that Merc and use
and the
him
conditions
to
is really getting wetter by the moment. So is there going to be a change of tires?
It'll be very interesting to see. And Caesar just taking 9th position from from Devon Little.
And then we've got JBL down to 6th place, with Dean the Fat Bean going into 5th. And it looks like both the Ferraris is struggling in the rain.
Yeah, they would definitely be running a little bit more, a little bit less downforce than the Mercedes drivers. Could be what the team managers have decided to be running, and unfortunately, it's not paying off for Ferrari at the moment.
The thing is, if the two leaders needed to come in to the pits now for full wets, they should be able to come out in front of Rubbernecker in 4th place. And at this stage, that McLaren is also catching the back of the Ferrari of McCallum. It is 17 seconds down, but I mean 2 laps ago it was 18 seconds plus.
Could we see a battle, a four-way battle between?
So Funworks is saying that, according to his knowledge, that they will have to come in for full wets, and as you can see, the track is absolutely.
Yeah, you can definitely start seeing those
now.
puddles start forming. Yeah, you can definitely see the puddles start forming. So it's definitely going to come in for full sets. But this is now where it gets tricky. Do a couple of the guys stay on the inters and ride out this full wet stage?
Well, the thing is,
do they come in for those full wets?
It is a very tricky situation because you might be like a lap faster by putting on the full wets, maybe 2 seconds a lap. But for how long are you going to run full wets before it's going to dry down again? And then you're going to have to swap to inters again.
I mean, this is a race will be, and we've got a couple of people coming in for the full wets. We've got JBL on the full wet. We've got Jorge on full wet, and we've got Joe Newman and Michael Booker on the full wets. So this is going to be interesting. What do the top 3 do?
If I was Callum, I would have maybe said, listen here, let's stay on the inters. I mean, me and you in our South African league, I remember the first race of the season in Australia, we actually did this. We stayed out on the inters.
Yeah, and we pushed through. We pushed through that hot weather. We've got Kieran in the pit lane now.
Snake Hips hitting the pit lane entrance. Oh my word.
Oh, that'll cost him.
Because
that'll cost him
Bloodsucker is exiting, and Snake Hips is changing front wing as well. Oh, it's not going good. And we've got Dean, the Fat Bean, coming into the pits as well. Oh, they managed to clear Snake Hips just before Dean came in.
Double stacking there by Mercedes, but it's not working out.
Oh, they didn't have the tires ready. Oh my word. So
currently that still keeps Dean in 5th place.
Bloodsucker
Jamie
is
now running in
6
3rd.
seconds
behind. Will Callum come in for the full wets?
I'm also seeing that Rubbernacke also stayed on the inters.
I'm currently spectating with him, and Callum is running very, very wide in a lot of these corners.
Yeah, I see both him and Rubbernacke is struggling for grip. I mean, when we did the Australian race, we just managed to hold on, but it wasn't as drenched as the track here is currently, and you can actually see
got a penalty there for one of the drivers.
It's a 10-second penalty.
This will essentially give Kieran a good lead over Callum, because he comes flying past. He's now in 1st.
Callum has pitted for full wet. Rubbernacke is still staying out though. He's not feeling the rush to put on the full wets yet. Is he gonna go? He's coming. Oh, he's on the back end of McCullum now. Let's see if Callum is actually sitting pretty nicely in 2nd position now, after Snake Hips made that huge mistake.
The rain is definitely, and we've got a 2nd DNF.
Oh, Captain Crunch out of the race.
So that would be. Let's just take a look at the list here.
It might be that
that would be Devin Little, yeah.
I think it might have been on the first or last corner that he actually lost it. JBL currently in the 6th position. And the track is definitely drenched right now. Yeah, no, Funworks, you were definitely right on that. The Inters is not holding the temperature. You can actually see it with Rubbernecker. He is keeping it on track, but he's lost in this lap alone. He's lost like 2 to 3 seconds on Cullum just by staying out on the Inters.
And I see that Stephen is catching
Well, if
Jamie.
it starts, if the rain starts to down or dry out again, then the Inters will definitely come into play again. So then, in actual fact, he needs to make one less pit stop than the rest of the guys. I
That
mean, if
could
you
work
look
into
at
his
it,
favour, yeah.
because
I mean,
if
if
you
you
have
look
to
at
look
it, I
at it
mean,
now,
Anthony Waddington sitting in 8th place. He's also on the Inters, along with Matt Dixon.
interesting choice of tires these guys are going out on.
So,
But I mean, if you look at it, so once it starts drying out again, then the guys on the full wets is going to have to come in and put on Inters. Then only they can go on and put on dry tires. Well, they can try and go full wets to Inters, but then they're going to have to run the full wet from the full wet to the dry tires. But then they're going to have to try and make those wet tires last as the track is drying out.
yeah,
Until it
once
is a
the
time
track
for the
dries
dry
out,
tires to come out.
you know, the tires heat up so quickly, especially those full wets.
Yes.
And I mean, you do have a couple of fast corners here, which are going to be putting a lot of load onto those tires. Ooh,
Yes.
Anthony Waddington having a bit of a tank slapper there, coming towards the Mercedes grandstand. And we've got Caesar right on the back of the Renault of Jorge.
And we've got
So those are
Snake Hips on the
two-
back of Rubbernecker right now.
Oh, and we should see some action there.
We've got a three-way battle for 8th position currently.
So you've got Anthony Warrington, the Jorge,
And
oh,
Snake Hips goes past for 3rd place.
yeah, Jamie went very wide there. He is struggling on those inters, but he has have a good 15-second gap on Dean Harrison. But that gap is falling, and it's falling fast. And we've got,
I'm on board here with the Williams in 8th place. This is a very good battle for 8th.
and
And we've got the Reynolds coming up on the inside.
Oh, and
almost
there's
hitting, almost touching the Williams.
is
Oh,
there
the
damage
Reynolds was
on
very
the
close.
front wing of Caesar. JB getting another 3-second penalty. In these slippery conditions, it's not surprising. And that gap down is now down to 11.4 seconds from 4th to 5th. As I'm currently spectating on this three-way battle for 7th, well,
Dean is
8th, 9th, and 10th.
on the
Renault takes a look on the outside.
Oh,
Three cars,
three cars
coming into this corner 3. Caesar pushing his Red Bull in there, taking 2 places. Very well done on that overtake. As we're currently looking back from the Renault's view, looking forward through the halo. He's right on the gearbox of that Red Bull. Caesar keeping that line nice and
And
tidy.
Padilla goes up to 8th place.
But Jorge's not going to give him that. Not going to give it up too easily. So if you look at it, the drivers out on the intermediates, they're struggling now at this stage of the race. But we know that it's going to be drying up. So this
Oh,
could turn
Rubberneck
into their
almost losing
favour.
it. Yes, it definitely can turn again. But
And we
Bloodsucker's
see that
definitely got a
JBL has, and we've got Dean
Dean
serving
in the
a time
pit,
penalty.
and he's putting on
Vincent,
Inters.
Dean's gone on to the Inters. The track seems to be drying out.
Is he taking a gamble?
This could be a very interesting tactic.
You can see the rain coming down.
In the current
now,
conditions, if it works out for him, he'd probably
but
come
it
up into
might
fifth.
it might be a lap too early for the Inters, or a lap or two.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at halfway within this German GP. Currently running in first place is Kieran in the Red Bull. Second is Callum in the Ferrari. Third is Stephen in the Mercedes. Fourth is Jamie, doing quite well with the McLaren. JBL up into fifth place. Kyle in sixth. Dean in seventh, who's just come out of the pits on the Inters. We've got Caesar, who seems to have opened a bit of a gap on Jorge at the moment. So Caesar is in 8th, Jorge in 9th. Rounding up the top 10 is Anthony Waddington, who has stayed out on the Inters and had a really good gamble there. Track could be drying out. And we see that Kyle is in 5th place, so that means JBL has just come out on the Inters. So the track is definitely drying up, John.
Drying out, yes. I'm quickly having a look at the incidents in the race. So we've already got Rubbernecker on lap 4 with a 3-second penalty. Then we've got Padilla on lap 5 with a 5-second time penalty.
That must have been a collision with someone.
Yeah, Rubbernecker also another 3-second penalty on lap 16. JBL here with a 5-second time penalty, severe collision with Legend actually. I just want to see Padilla's penalty was with a Talfi.
And Callum is just coming out of the pit lane now, so that will give Stephen essentially second place.
Okay. Padilla also with another 3-second penalty on top of the 5 that he's received. And then we've got Captain Crunch with a 10-second penalty on lap 25. But I think he is already out of the race. Rubbernecker, another 3-second penalty. Yeah, that's the penalties at this stage.
Alright, so on lap 33, you can see that the top two, that is Kieran and Stephen, still running the full wets, as Callum is on the Inters now. Jamie, one of the few drivers that has started to stay out on the Inters, running in 4th. So this could play nicely into his hands.
Well, Callum is actually catching to the back of Snake Hips now. Snake Hips is on the full wets. Now, this is going to be very interesting now. As soon as Bloodsucker goes into the pits again, he is going to come out in what looks to be like a net 3rd place, depending on when
well, it's between 19 and 20 seconds for a pit stop. So at this current stage, he could just come out in front of these two battling.
Well, this is going to be the next lap, I think. Well, the next straight, Callum is going to come flying past Snake Hips for 2nd place, and then he's going to start cutting down. You can already see he is coming on the inside. Oh, he's not braking hard enough. Oh, he's on the curb. Oh, he's coming on the inside. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Side by side.
You can definitely see the Inter's definitely much faster. at this
Yeah,
stage of
NJ
the
is
race,
definitely
and
the
there's
fastest
already
car at the time.
it's now 20 seconds to the leader. 19.6. He's catching by each corner. It's 19.4 as they come to lap Matt Dixon. Is Dixon going to go out of the way? Oh my word, this is so close. And already Snake Hips has lost 1.3 seconds just in the second sector alone. And the gap is down to 18.5.
With the speed that Callum is currently traveling, he could be fighting for that first place. I mean, it's dropping and it's dropping fast.
Yeah, it's 17 seconds, 17.7. By the end of this lap, it should be on 15 seconds because he caught in 2.5 seconds. So Bloodsucker is going to try and go to the point where they can swap over two slicks. I don't think that is a good idea going from the full wet. Oh, and Matt Dixon with a penalty ignoring blue flags.
Well, I'm currently looking at the lap times of Kieran in first place. So his last lap was a 1:29.3, and Callum's last lap was a 1:25. But that is also just coming out of the pits. So let's take a look once he reaches the first lap.
Well, it's already down to 15 seconds now.
And all of the back markers getting out of the
Well,
way
Snake
there nicely for
has
Callum.
already lost 4 seconds in this lap alone.
Dean the Fat Bean up into fifth. And we've got Kieran in the pit lane. This is going to be interesting. Where is Callum on the... I can see Callum coming down the last... Yeah, there he's side by side. As they come he comes around, he's got first place.
Callum's got first place. And Bloodsucker is staying in front of Snake Hips. Snake Hips still staying out on the full wet. And you can actually see that Matt Dixon in the inters is staying on the back of Snake Hips, actually trying to catch back up to him.
So, as we've gone just over the halfway mark, of the Talk of the Devil round 10 in Germany, we've just gone through a wet period in the race, and a lot of the drivers have gambled. Three of the drivers that went out on the gamble, that is the Renault of John Tyler, that is Anthony Waddington with the Williams sitting in 7th at the moment, and
we've
Matt
got contact.
Dixon.
Snake Hips has spun. Oh my word! The full wet is not working for him.
You see, they're heating up too quickly. I don't think he can push all the way through. Well, he'll definitely come. I mean, he's lost.
I can
he's
tell
losing
you
time
who
to his brother,
his teammate,
dramatically
yes.
right now.
Well, I can tell you who's smart. Well, and he's still
and
not
yet he stays out.
Pit. My word, is that a good opportunity for him or not? But the guy who will be smiling right now is
DRS is now
McLaren.
enabled, which means that track will be drying out very quickly.
Yes. I can tell you who's smiling right now is the guy in third place, Rabenacker in the McLaren, because he's sitting 11 seconds off the lead. Now it's going to come down to who's going to be the first to pit. Who's going to be the first one to put on those dry tires again? Because if you do it too early, you're going to lose too much time. If you do it too late, you're going to lose too much time. You need to do it at the correct time. I would throw in.
So the first person to come out on the hard, on the dry tires, would be Dean on the hard and Anthony Waddington on the medium. We've got Gareth on the soft.
Dean
That is
actually,
very interesting to know.
on the medium tire. Let's see how his sector time looks like. It
I'll
looks
just
like
battle
he's
at the
keeping
front
it.
here.
Rubbernecker has gone into the pits. If I was Callum, I would come in next lap. I see everyone diving in. Dean is still struggling to keep it on track though. But it's not as bad. Is he losing it? Oh, drifting into the stadium section here. Oh my word.
So Jamie's definitely comfortably in third place at the moment. Dean coming in,
Snake Hips
putting on the
coming
soft.
out on the soft tires, yes. Rubbernecker on the mediums.
So now it's the top two that is going to be really interesting to watch. Kieran actually taking first place.
So he's dropped down a position.
Are 3 laps
well, Funwood
younger.
says here lap 40 for the slicks. I'm going to throw out and say lap 39. Lap 38, 39. Maybe coming right now.
Getting another penalty, yeah. And they stay out.
Stayed out. Well, let's look at lap 39.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, they are picking up speeds.
Well,
you know, the gap is
what's very
seconds
interesting
between
is
second and third.
JBL is going to throw down the gauntlet here. He's out on the hard tire.
Well, he'll definitely make it all the way through to the end of the race.
He's definitely said, listen here, I'm going to go to the end of this race. Dean the Fat being in the medium tire might make it to the end of the race, but I can tell you this, that Snake Hips in the soft tire will need to pit again.
I think Stephen is counting on the fact that the soft tire will be will have that speed advantage to him. And Dean has just taken over 5th place from JBL. Will the top two come into pit? Callum is right on the back of the gearbox.
I'm waiting for this final corner to come around. Bloodsucker gone into the pits with Callum still staying out a lap. Let's see who made the best opportunity here, or took the best opportunity here.
I see that Red Bull double stacked.
We'll be able to see now.
It's going to cost Kieran a little bit. Now it's about putting on the best lap that what you can.
He's coming out on the medium tires.
17 and a half seconds. It's not quite enough for a free pit stop for Callum.
Well, it's still 27 laps to go. Will the medium tire last?
You should be able to make it with a medium tires.
That's a very good question about now. Is will he make it on the mediums till the end?
I mean, DRS is active. However, you can still see there is some drops of rain on certain parts of the track.
I think maybe lap 40 was the right decision to make, because Bloodsucker is losing time to Callum. It's currently up to 18 and a half seconds. Okay, and
it's going to be close. Callum's in the pits.
Let's see down the main straight what happens. Okay, Callum is at his pit box. He's also putting on the medium tires.
It's a very long pit stop there by the Ferrari. Where is Kieran? He's coming down the main straight now.
And Callum's got it.
Coming around the first. Callum's got it.
Callum has got it.
Now it's going to be a battle all the way through to the end of the race.
Was the better opportunity. And Rubbernecker is being chased down by Snake Hips. And Dean currently in 5th position. Only 16 seconds down from Snake Hips.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you are currently watching the stream where Stephen is lapping the McLaren. So, positions at this moment are lap 41 after a wet period within the race. We've got Callum in first, Kieran in second, Jamie playing the gambling game, staying out on the inters through that whole wet sector of the race, has paid off. I mean, he's now sitting quite comfortably in third place, with Stephen in fourth, the sister Mercedes in fifth, JBL sitting down in sixth, Anthony wanting gambling, staying out in the inters during that wet period of the race. He's sitting in fourth. Jorge right behind him in eighth place. Kyle in ninth. Caesar in 10th. The sister McLaren in 11th. Mac Dixon in 12th. We also played the... Although, now that I look at it, we've got a McLaren on intermediates. It is very interesting. Anyway, so Matt Dixon has just taken the 11th place over. We've got the Point Racing sitting in 13th.
I can tell you this, that JBL in the Ferrari is gonna look a bit more lively towards the end of the race. His tires will be much better at the latter stage of the race than what the mediums is going to be on the rest of the guys.
Yeah, he'll definitely have a lot more rubber on those boots of his. Very interesting that that McLaren of Mash or Mash
is still out on the inters.
Is, on the inters.
All the team has told him, listen, you don't have any tires anymore.
Right.
We've got Callum just managing to hold on to the lead of this race.
So we've got Glamborn in 14th, Joe Newman in 15th, Michael Booker in 16th, and John Taylor in 17th. As we've got the McLaren now coming in for a set of mediums. He's 18 seconds ahead, so he'll be comfortably in 14th place. And as we head up the road, that gap is now half a second between
first and
second. And Kieran putting in the fastest lap with a 1:16.697. So looking at it, we're spectating now with Kieran, DRS, and Snake Gibbs with a 1:15.749. So the guys are definitely putting out the fastest lap times at the moment.
No,
and Kieran goes on the inside. Callan defends on the outside, on the hairpin.
Definitely a good battle between the Ferrari and the Red Bull, yeah.
And Stephen is now into third place.
Will he have enough time to chase down? Well, he's probably going to have to pit again. I don't see his tires lasting another 20 laps.
No, he definitely will have to pit again. But now, can he open that 20-second gap on Jamie so that he can keep that third place? Or does he have a second set of softs available? And Kyle getting a 3-second penalty. And Snow keeps it again. Stephen going with a 1:15.485.
Yeah, he's definitely catching up with those type of lap times, but his tires won't last. I mean, he's already done 7 laps.
And from what I understand, the lifespan of the soft tire around the track, you're looking at max about, you're pushing it at about 20, 22, 24 laps.
He's going to have to pit again. He's definitely going to have to pit again.
So Callum is holding that Red Bull at bay.
I believe Dean also came into the pits now and actually put on the hard tire, the white wall tire.
Yeah, he is on the hard
No,
tire.
it is.
Yeah, it is the hard tire, the white wall.
It shows that he's on the hard tire, but in actual fact, on the screen, it shows the yellow wall tire.
Yeah, I have noticed that over the course of the season that Codemasters coding, when it came to the tires, is something to be desired. At one stage, I think it was round 3 or 4, where the tire color kept changing, and the two leaders
interesting.
lapping Dean there. So all the way up to 8th has been lapped.
Dean coming into the pits again.
I think he'll be going for the fastest lap. I think he'll be putting on the...
I think he's coming on for the yellow wall tire for the medium.
And a wing change.
I think he lost it again into the first corner. That's why, because he was slower the entire lap.
The first turn being the Achilles heel for Dean. So 20 laps left to go, ladies and gentlemen. And that gap is down to 2 tenths. Here coming in, looking for a late dive.
Oh, so close. Almost lost the part of his wing there.
Now they're coming up to lap Jorge. Callum going on the inside.
Oh.
Will they give Callum some room?
Red Bull, they're lucky not to have any wing damage from that touch there. Oh, drifting into the first corner almost there. Down to 14.
Caesar is coming out of the pits. He is now on the soft, so he'll be pushing for that fastest lap outside of the top 10. So, talking about fastest lap, let's see what is the fastest lap at the moment. So the fastest lap is held by Stephen with a 1:14.684.
And you can already see those softs going down because he's starting to lose time on the two leaders again.
This battle between Kieran and Callum has gone on the whole race. Oh, Kieran nearly losing it there.
There was a time during the race where the Red Bull actually had a lead of 10 seconds, but because of different strategies, the Ferrari came out the best there.
The Ferrari strategy is definitely working better than Bonato at the moment. Let's quickly talk about some news there. So, I came across a headline during the course of the week, and the headline actually leaves a lot to be desired. So, the headline just says, Verstappen losing patience with Red Bull. Now, is that the type of headline you want to be coming out of a team? And Kieran comes in on the inside. There's contact between the two of them. Kieran,
it doesn't look like any of them. That doesn't look like any of them has got damage there. But so that like was definitely.
So is that a headline that you want to be coming out of the home race for Red Bull in Japan? All right, with their Honda motors. I mean, they took a penalty last race because they knew they were going to be using the best out of their motor for this weekend, and then you've got this typhoon or tsunami or hurricane that's happening, so they can't really run the motor to full power. But is this now not compounding Verstappen's thoughts on the team?
I don't think we'll see Verstappen staying at Red Bull too long anymore.
Well, he does have a contract through until the end of next year. But he does have a clause within his contract, from what I understand, where if he does get an offer from Ferrari or McLaren, that he can actually take that, or Mercedes, he can actually take that.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Because there's been a lot of rumours with him being spotted hanging around with Toto Wolff quite a bit.
Bloodsuck on. Oh!
And there's contact. And Kieran's lost it.
Bloodsucker.
So that will essentially give first place to Callum.
Oh, still 17 laps.
Kieran come fighting back. He's got 17 laps. Oh, that's 8 point, just under 9 seconds, just over 9 seconds. And their gap is increasing. And they've had such good battle through the whole of the race.
Yes. I think Bloodsucker was getting impatient and he just wanted to get past.
Yeah, I think that might have been the case. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a look at the running order at the moment. So, we've got Callum in first in the Ferrari. Second, we've got Kieran. Third, we've got Jamie with... and as I say that... We've got Steven challenging for third place and taking third place. So, the running order now is Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, and Anthony Waddington up into 6th place with that Williams. Jorge in 7th in the Renault. You've got Kyle in the Alpha in 8th, and then Dean in 9th, and then Matt Dixon rounding off the top 10. So I just want to see who's got the fastest lap time outside of the top 10. Let's see, we've got 114 outside of the top 10. That would definitely be Caesar with a 1:15.211. So Caesar definitely getting that extra championship point.
Mm, 15 laps
if we
remaining.
Have to look at it. Caesar having 8 stops within the course of the race.
That
the
is
biggest winner
unfortunate.
out of the beginning of the race is Stephen with 11 places. Biggest loser in that situation is Caesar with 10 places.
Yeah, you don't want to start in the top 5 and then end up at the lower end of the grid.
So that gap between first and second now is 10.6 seconds. I think Kieran has settled for what looks to be second place.
Yes, he's not pushing too hard anymore. Snake Hips is 17 seconds behind him, so he's definitely got that gap in hand.
Matt Dixon running comfortably in the last points paying position.
Now we've got Legend here in the Reynolds, currently running in 17th, 13 seconds behind Zola in the Williams. And then Glamburn is 15th in the Toro Rosso with his teammate in 14th.
Yeah, Joe Newman. Yeah, Joe Newman in 14th, yes.
And then we've got the Red Bull of Padilla running
Caesar,
in
yeah.
13th. Then we've got in the McLaren running 12th. With Talfi running in 11th, trying to catch Matt Dixon, but he's 12 seconds behind Dixon. Dixon in the Haas in 10th, getting out of the way of Callum, the leader. Dean currently in 9th.
Jamie getting another 3-second penalty.
No, that is, I think it's now his
With the amount of 3-second penalties, it's going to be touch and go if he keeps that 4th place.
Well, JBL is only 21 seconds behind, so it is going to be a touch and go at this stage. So yeah, we've got Dean currently running in 9th position. He's only 6.5 seconds behind the Alpha here in 8th position, who is busy catching George in 7th in the Reynolds. Jorge. In the Reynolds.
Quite an interesting way of spelling it, yeah? These Mexicans.
Yeah, well, it all depends on on where he's from, on how the pronunciation of that name goes. But yeah, Jorge is actually the correct one for the Mexican side, or the Spanish side, if you want to say it like that.
Then we've got Anthony Waddington in 6th place. That gamble staying out in the Inters really paid off for him, yeah?
Yeah, well, he's running 6th. He's definitely going to catch some points here.
And Kyle has just taken 7th place from Jorge. I just
want to say the Alpha's gone past the Reynolds there. Reynolds not backing down yet. Oh, close battle this. And then we've got JBL in the Ferrari running in 5th place. Only 21 seconds behind Rubbernacke. So with Rubbernacke, with all these penalties that he's having, he might just end up being in 5th position and not in 4th anymore.
Well, if Anthony Waddington can... well, I see that gap increasing there between JBL and Anthony. So hopefully Jamie's done enough to try and keep ahead of JBL.
This is now where it becomes very interesting, because now you've got JBL 22 seconds behind Rubbernacke. Yeah. Do you come in for the softs? Because he's got a gap of 24 seconds behind him. So if he goes into the pits now, JBL, he'll definitely come out still in 5th position. But then he has got an opportunity to go for the fastest lap.
And in the Ferrari, with this track, it's definitely something that can be done.
Definitely, yes.
But here's the question: does he have that set of softs available?
That is another question. Well, he started on the mediums, I believe.
Yeah, but with that blinding lap that he put in Q3, I did notice that he came out on 2 sets of fresh softs. So I don't know if he's got a spare available.
Yeah, but still, even with a
A
second-hand
used
tire,
spare,
he
yeah.
would definitely still get the fastest lap.
Yeah, track's been rubbered in. It's rubbering nicely now after the rain as well.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 laps to go of round 10 in Germany of the Talk of the Devil League Season 2. You've been listening to myself, Tamer Curved, and my co-commentator and co-admin for the South African League of ORLSA, Iceman Jean, or Jean for our British viewers. We've been taking a look at this race. It's been quite a race, considering you had Kieran and Callum side by side for most of the race. Then Stephen crawling his way up from 11th position to 3rd, and then at one stage was leading the race, and the three of them kept swapping places. And now if you look at it, you've got Callum in 1st, Kieran in 2nd, and Stephen in 3rd.
Dean is actually on the back of the Alpha. He's actually going past for 7th place. He actually made very easy overtaking there.
And that is for 7th place, yeah. But will Kyle come back at him?
I don't think he's got the pace to stay with the Merc.
The Merc is lap 12 of those mediums. Kyle is lap 20. Yeah, so, it's six laps younger tires. So that Merc's definitely going to be able to pull away from him.
You see now, Mr. JBL is definitely caught back up to the back of Rubbernecker. He's only 19 seconds, so I'm quickly going to go and check the penalties again. I'm sure that the 5-second penalty that Rubbernecker had was a time penalty that he had to spend in the pits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to count the 3-second
served him, but
penalties here. So it's 1, 2.
There's a good little race going on between the two Toro Rosso drivers. Looking at it, so we've got Joe Newman and Gareth having a good little tussle between themselves for 14th and 15th respectively. Could this be teammates battling it out to see who gets the better result? Or are they just having a last bit of fun within the last 7 laps of this race to go?
Well, Glamber is on the newer tires, only gone 11 laps, where Newman has gone 25 laps. So I've just quickly looked at it. It was JBL with the 5-second penalty, time penalty, but I think he did that in the pit stop. It will be interesting to see after the race. But Rubbernecker has got a 12-second penalty with all his
12 seconds. So if essentially JBL's got 6 seconds that he's got to make up
in 7 laps.
6 seconds, 7 laps. That's 2 seconds a lap. What are the tires looking like? He's on the hard.
No, it's a second a lap that he needs to bring down.
Yeah, okay. Okay. It is second lap. So he's on the hard. They both have done 22 laps.
Yes.
But like you said, the hard will definitely have a little bit more meat on those tires, yeah?
Yeah, well, the longer the race goes on, the faster those hard skates.
And once again, Joe Newman and Glamborn have swapped places. I think it's who's got the bigger cojones within that team at the moment between the two Red Bull between the two Toro Rosso drivers.
Well, like I said, Glamborn has definitely got the newer tires, so he should be the one faster. Unless they're trying to get Glam with the fastest lap outside the top 10.
On that medium tire, I don't think so.
Well, with DRS available, it's possible. So the gap is now down to 17.5 seconds, 17.8 seconds between JBL and Rubbernecker. So if Rubbernecker gets another penalty, that will be up to 15 seconds then. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see if he will be able to catch down to 12 seconds now. Still 5 laps left.
Yeah, there's 5 laps left. Everybody up until 6th place has been lapped.
So
Caesar
Snake
still
Hips
has the
is
fastest
now
lap
12
outside
seconds
of the top
behind
10.
Bloodsucker.
So Jean, as Callum comes towards the stadium, I've got to ask, who's your driver of the day?
This is a very difficult one.
That'll also be quite interesting. Anybody that's watching the stream, I'd like to see your comments on who your driver of the day is.
I think the two leaders, well, if you look at the top 3, I think they've had a good battle. Snakehips for coming back from 12th place or 13th place on the grid. I think he's definitely done well. I actually want to see if I can see. Yeah, and he's done 4 stops. Well, everyone has done 4 stops. Rubbernecker actually has only done 2 stops.
Yeah, he did that gamble.
And the guy in the Williams in 6th place as well, also with 2 stops. Dean is currently in 7th place and only a second behind the Williams, and he's done 6 stops. So yes, it's very difficult to see who was the actual driver of the day. I mean, Callum has definitely been defending the whole race up until the point where Bloodsucker tried to overtake him into the stadium section. So I think for him being 10 seconds down at one stage to being 13 seconds in the lead right now, I think he needs to be the driver of the day.
I would agree with you on that. Caleb definitely fought his way up there, and that battle between him and Kieran through the whole race has just been something to be watched.
But also don't take anything away from
between Anthony and
JBL.
Dean at the moment.
Yeah, Dean just went past for 6th position now. Don't forget JBL as well, being 18th or second last at one stage in the race, first lap, driving all the way back to being 5th position. Fighting to get 4 more seconds before the race ends to see if he can't grab fourth place. And as I said, that someone did get a penalty, and I'm not sure who it was.
I kind of missed that one.
Okay, it was another warning. Yeah.
Well, I see that with the
Well, if
Dean
Rubbernecker
having
makes
his battle
another
with Anthony,
mistake,
that's Anthony's had to move out of the way for Dean because he is being lapped, and that's now given the gap. So Dean the Fat Bean with a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, basically ignoring his teammate coming through.
oh my word. The JBL down to 15 seconds right now. If Rubbernecker makes another mistake and he gets another time penalty, then it will be 15 seconds. So can he keep it clean for another 2 laps? Let's see what he can do.
As we've been discussing, Caesar in the Red Bull has now got the fastest lap with a 1:14.101.
Well, he did go in for the fast lap pit stop. He's done 9 stops now.
9 pit stops. Wow.
Well, it's
Wow.
almost like me during our league race at Baku, where I actually did like 10 stops as well.
Yeah, you just had an awful race though.
I had, you know what? I had an awful start. I had 5 pit stops in the first 8 laps. So yeah, but from there it went the better for me. Actually finished, I think, was 8th or 9th in the race, so that was a good race for me. Not too bad. And then the race afterwards at Spain, I actually came 3rd. So yeah, it was a good training session.
So we've got Stephen in the pits now, so he's got to try and go for that fastest lap with 1 lap to go.
Oh, he's cutting it short. But JBL is now 10.9 seconds behind Rubbernecker.
So that'll give him 4th place.
No, not yet. Not yet. He still needs 2 seconds.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm currently now spectating on Callum as he starts the last lap of the German Grand Prix. Just taking a look at what the comments on the chat were. We've got JBL for driver of the day by one of the thing. His recovery after the
crash
turn 1
turn
incident
1, yes.
was impressive.
Yes,
I do have to agree with that.
Yes, me too.
I do agree with that.
Well,
So
even
then,
Dean the
we
Fat
will-
Bean from
Yeah,
dead
he's
last
right
to
behind.
well, not right behind, still 30 seconds behind, but still, it's impressive that he actually did it.
Well, then I think it's settled. Driver of the day would be JBL with that impressive drive. Definitely living up to that seat for Gary Braddon.
Definitely.
Cullen
Well,
coming around
let's
for
see
the
what he can do.
last time into the stadium.
I'm still on JBL as McCallum comes through the final 2 corners.
And Callum
Oh,
Harrison.
I'm almost hitting
And
the wall there then. Okay, so
Callum Harrison
Wilson
has
leads.
finished the race in 1st position. 2nd would be Kieran. 3rd place, will Stephen be able to get that fastest lap? He's in amongst the traffic. I don't think he's going to be able to get that fastest lap.
Well,
Dean getting a 5-second penalty, unserved penalty. And his brother coming across the line, getting a 1:13.006, taking that fastest lap from Caesar. But Caesar's still getting a bonus point for fastest lap outside of the top 10.
okay,
So,
so
Jean, what we
JBL
do
is
in the talk of the devil-
12.8. Sorry,
Yes,
12.8.
I'm
He
listening.
needs just 0.7 of a second. Then he can grab 4th place from Rubbernecker. but it doesn't look he's gonna get that. Oh my word, this is so close.
It's going to be close.
Oh, he's missing
did
out
you
by
happen to catch that?
0.7 of a second.
He's got 5th place. Very well
Oh
done.
my word.
So I'm
0.7
going to
of a
quickly
second.
see if I can get the top 3 into our lovely lobby here so that they can do the post-race interviews with us.
And Ferrari winning at Hockenheim.
Well done to Callan for that awesome race. Kieran in 2nd, and in 3rd that would be Stephen. Looking at the Ferrari driver celebrating there. Well-deserved win.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely drove well. He defended very well. But for me, I definitely agree. JVL getting driver of the day. I was just informed
Yes.
that Callum actually got driver of the day the last weekend.
Yeah, he did get driver of the day last weekend as well. He had a really good recovery, if I remember correctly. He was down in last place, and then by the I think turn 6 or something like that, he was already up into 11th. It was a blinding first lap.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
So the top order is Callum in 1st, Kieran in 2nd, Stephen in 3rd, Jamie in 4th, JBL 5th, and Dean in 6th place. Right, just want to try and get the top 3. It was a really good race for most of it. I mean, we've had tops and turvies with a good with the wet in between there. Let's see if we can get these guys into
fun work saying well done, Callum.
Very well done there by the reigning world champion.
Nice.
And Stephen. Good evening, good evening. Yes, please.
Alright.
Who? Sorry?
The assistant manager.
The assistant manager. Oh, right. Do you have Ben? Unfortunately, I don't have him. There we go. All right. So, only person that I'm missing now is Stephen. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, while there we go, Stephen has just joined in on our party. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the post-race interviews with the top 3. First place would be Callum, 2nd Kieran, and 3rd would be Stephen. Congratulations on your win tonight, Callum.
Thank you. Redemption from last week.
Yes. Could you just give us a recap? What happened last week? Because you had such a blinding first lap in Britain.
Yeah, so obviously I had my qualifying ban, which I served, started last. Took my time going into turn 1, made up a couple of places. I had a really, really quick first lap. Managed to get myself right up to 6th. Soon made my way through the rest of the field. Don't know where I found my pace from, to be honest, but I was absolutely flying. I managed to drag my mediums that little bit longer than what I should have done really, but it allowed me to pit onto the softs to go to the end of the race and still have tyre life at the end of the race, just to help me sort of finish. And then a couple of laps after my pit stop, I had some contact with a back marker, which cost me my race. It gave me wing damage, I had to pit, and come out 4th and finished 4th.
Well, there you go. Redemption for last week's race. So I've got to ask from your point of view, you qualified in 4th place, it was?
Yeah, 4th or 5th, fifth, I think.
Yeah, I think it was fourth place. And then coming into that first corner, and then seeing JBL and Dean having that incident, and then literally going off to the side of the road. That must have given you some sort of excitement, being right behind Kieran at the time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I never like to see the top runners involved in incidents, and I look forward to battling with obviously the best drivers. So it was unfortunate for both of them, and I feel for them both. But yeah, from my point of view, I was very happy that happened. Make a mistake though, sort of with what I was doing. I raced F2 cars midweek and turned my traction control on full, and I forgot to turn it off again for today. So the first stint, I was extremely slow, and I said to Ben, my manager at the time, I don't understand how everyone's pulling out of these corners so much quicker than I am, and I was losing so much time. I mean, you look when I was on the wets, and both Kieran and Steve got past me, they just went. It wasn't until I boxed,
Yeah.
and I thought I'd just check it just in case. Yeah, and realised it was on, so took it off, and then sort of managed to find the pace in the last part of the race
Callum,
to bring it
I
on.
can tell you this: your uncle is very happy for you winning this race.
Yeah, he's a legend, isn't he? Absolute legend.
He definitely is.
Yeah, hurry up and
well,
get an
you say
Xbox
that-
so you can come join us.
There we go. There we go. He needs to.
That's a challenge
Um,
out there right now.
Yeah.
So in second place we have Kieran. Kieran from that first lap incident between first and second between Dean and JBL. It was a battle between you and Callum. Basically, we'd call it 90% of that race. Till the one point where I think you guys had a bit of contact coming into the stadium. What happened there?
Well, me being me, I saw in front of my eyes a win. So I wanted to push and push and push as hard as I could to get the win. But obviously I pushed too hard and I made contact with Callum and I messed up there. But the 90% of that race, I enjoyed the battling, like mainly because I came out on top, but I won't talk about that.
Just quickly though, I would like to say I'm very, very proud of Kieran. Right, I have a nice little bond with Kieran. When he first come into the league at Baku last season, he was a little newbie, didn't really know what he was doing, really, really struggled. He's worked his way up through the field, up to better cars. Now in that Red Bull, he's doing really well. So congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much, Callum.
Yeah, very, very well done. So, with that battle going on between you and Callum, like I said, 90% of that race, you had myself and Jean on the edge of our seats with the amount of respect that you gave one another. It was unbelievable. And then while you guys were battling, you had Stephen, who finished in third. Congratulations, coming in there and then having a three-way battle for first. What an amazing race right in the beginning there.
Yeah, I like to see that because it was the top three cars, Red Bull, Ferrari and Merc, just all in one part, and we're all battling for first. None of us could really, it was like a stalemate, no one could really get the advantage. Because the dirty air, how cold, well not very cold, how wet it was, and yeah, it was very enjoyable to race.
Fantastic. Stephen, from your point of view, how was that race?
I enjoyed it first. Yeah, trouble slowed down a bit, so I didn't collide with anybody. Didn't want to mess anybody's race up, and then I just caught these guys up, and it just started to rain. I did hang back. I'm not going to lie. I hung back a little bit. Just watch. Let's see if I could take. Left them two men. To be fair, I had them both.
Well, I have
like I
to
had
say,
the
I
pace
think you were still in the
there.
running for winning the race until you hit the pit wall on the entry there. What was going through your mind as you hit the pit wall there?
I don't know if that's my headset or what. Bits and bobs.
Is the party lagging a bit? Maybe Ivan, if you're hearing me clearly, maybe you can maybe just ask
Okay,
him
so
that.
basically the question that was asked was, you were in the running for first place there before you actually hit the pit wall entry. What was going through your mind at that time, Stephen?
I was pretty pissed, to be fair. I had the pace to beat them both today. To be honest, I had Gregory party chat, and it was him that was in front. But he, on his MDF, it was telling him to put mediums on, so he was slowing down so he could change that before he went into the pit, so he didn't go in and pit with mediums. So I kind of understand it. I was kind of pissed, but like, you know, I hit the back of him, then it spun me for no stupid reason. Then I had to change my wing, so that just messed my race up completely. And then when I come back out on the wets, to be fair, it was just, I had the pace again, I was catching, and then they pit for inters and I stayed out, and they were getting too hot and it just spun me out, it spat me out. So, and then a lap later we chucked some softs on, and by then it was too late.
I'll tell you what, Steve,
It
you're
was a good
shit
race,
in the wet. I was quite surprised how good you did today.
No, I said that, to be fair, like, but
just say it as it is, like.
Callum, I
I
thought you were really good in
anticipated
the
the range,
race.
so
I was keeping up with you.
That's my traction control, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
feel like I had the pace today, but
I could tell.
bumped a little bit. So it was my own fault in some respects. I should have pitted for inters maybe for a few laps, hung it out, and then it just didn't pay off. It's just one of them strategies that didn't pay off, and Dean still got us some points, and I had nobody in front, nobody behind, so I was like, I'm getting that fastest lap. Get the extra point, and away we go.
You definitely got that fastest lap, a 1:13 flat, yeah? So that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it felt fast. But yeah, I was only 12 seconds behind Kieran, to be fair. His tyres were wearing off and mine was doing alright. But there just weren't enough, so I was like, just chuck some softs so I can get the fastest lap. Set the points home, got some good points for Mercedes again. Unlucky for
very,
Dean.
very, very well done.
Bit of contact everywhere, and it's one of them tracks, and you love it or you hate it. And normally I hate it, but I enjoyed that race today. Bit of mixed up conditions.
Fantastic. And then we've got Ben, the winning manager for today's race, managing Ferrari and Renault. Ben, what was your take on that race?
Well, I'm sort of quite speechless about that race, as you guys sort of said. That was phenomenal to watch, those three, like, darting through that. I wanted to watch the race, but I just couldn't take my eyes off of, obviously, Callum, Kieran, all of them, just especially when it got to the wet. That was just amazing to watch. You should all really give yourself a good pat on the back.
No, got to give it a world of respect. You guys did really well. The amount of time that you guys were so close to hitting one another, it was just nail biting at one stage. It really was. And I actually said during the stream to my co-commentator Jean that this is what I would like to see in the actual Formula One. The top three teams side by side in a row, battling for that one position. You know.
Oh, it would be fantastic. I don't know how Callum even managed to keep some of the concentration level, because obviously, like, having me in your ear screaming, not screaming, but excited, because obviously I'm trying to watch the race as well, but I don't want an incident to happen. It was, you know.
So I just muted you.
They had their own. But no,
Good plan.
massive congratulations to Callum and even the other guys for finishing on the podium. That was a fantastic race to watch. I think we just played it a little bit better with strategy.
Well, strategy and the defending game.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think Callum defended like a boss today.
Yeah,
That's what got him the win.
Well, yeah, I think
It was
all
hard
come
work
down to
defending both of them. They both raced really well, especially at the start when I was battling with Kieran, and Ben all of a sudden goes, Callum, I don't want to tow this, but now Steve's like a second and a half behind. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I was keeping my eye on
gently.
the timing between me and Stephen.
Yeah, no, fair play to them both. They both raced really well, and I defended with what I could. But I think, yeah, when I turned that traction control off as I normally have it, I sort of picked up again. So, but no, I could have
Didn't
done
make
it
it
on
on.
without Ben's help.
Even my first win.
The strategy from Ben's side, was spot on once again. So yeah, fair play to him. He's really helped me there.
Well, fantastic. Ben, you can also give word out to JBL. We have given him driver of the day for his recovery from the
perfect.
first corner incident. He's definitely done well to cover that seat for Gary Braddon that wasn't there this evening.
And right at the last minute as well, he was basically last like half hour before the race. Can you race? And he was like, "Yep, I'll practice now." And what a finish! Yeah, I was gonna suggest JBL as driver of the day as well, not just because he's a Ferrari driver, but what a fantastic drive!
No, that was a really good recovery drive from your Ferrari team.
Well, both
ladies and
Dean
gentlemen,
and JBL did fantastic drives.
yes,
Come back
yes,
from
Dean did
that
very well,
first
yeah.
corner incident to finish 5th and 6th. I think they
You know-
both really did well.
Do you know I qualified 15th and got on podium? Just shouting that out there.
Which we did mention you.
Yeah. Well, no, wait, hold on. I'm looking
You know
at
what?
it here, and it
There
says
was
14th.
3 names. There was
It's
3
the car,
names
right?
for
Trying to
driver
run at
of
me
the
from
day.
last week, wasn't he? That's
4
what it
drivers
was.
actually.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
But also, Steve,
I
you
have
should be
got-
doing that.
I have got to ask
He
you.
you wanna
messaged
merge?
me before. He messaged me before the race, saying, "Oh, Callum, 20th to 4th, challenge accepted."
Yeah.
I have got a question for Stephen though. Like, did you actually give your teammate a 5-second penalty for blue flags? You actually lapped your teammate?
Yes, he actually did.
Me, I,
No, so we
Why
was
did
we
you do
was
that?
talking, and I think Curie's just like he had the racing line. I was behind him, but all he had to do was move to. He just left onto the grass. I was like, okay, he didn't have to do that. But the same tyres and everything else, it's not as easy to catch up with him. And by the time we got, I was saying going into the last sector, I'd like move across here, and then I just didn't have the traction. I was nowhere near him. I was like, the only place was where we had to do it. So it was a bit of a tough one, to be fair. I don't know if we lost the plays for it, but I did record it because there was nothing he could have done about that. To be fair,
I was just like, when I saw it come up on obviously the spectating screen that he had a penalty, I was like, oh, who's giving him a penalty? And looked down and his own teammate sat behind him. I was like,
yeah,
not going to believe this.
It was definitely one of those strange situations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard from the top 3 drivers, Callum, Kieran, and Stephen, as well as Ben, the manager of Ferrari. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining myself, Tamer Curved, and my co-commentator and admin from the ORLSA League, Jean Iceman. Thank you very much for joining me on this lovely Saturday
Well,
evening.
thank you guys for having me here. It was a fun race to commentate on. I had a lot of
thank you very
action
much
and
for
I
joining,
really
mate.
enjoyed
You're
it.
always welcome.
Oh, thanks, man. I really
thank you for
appreciate
commentating. We do
Fantastic.
appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was round 10 of the Talk of the Devil season. So we will see you in a week's time for round 11. Thank you very